Join me now for an impromptu, spur-of-the-moment interview with the silver guru, David Morgan. His website is silver-investor.com or themorganreport.com. David, welcome back to the program. It's Friday, May 18th, 2012. We've seen some gains in silver and gold today, and many of the junior mining stocks have rebounded. Has the bottom come and gone in this market?
Boy, it sure looks like it to me, Ellis, at least on the equity side. We've seen very low prices in the mining stocks across the board. Basis the GDX and the other indexes, but primarily that one. Huge volume a few days ago. And usually those kind of volume increases are evidence of short covering. There's been a lot of professional money out there on the short side in these mining equities particularly, as well as the metals. And when they see the opportunity, they will cover their positions, and that has taken place. I'm sure there's probably some more short covering to do, but I think the bottom is in for the mining equities. As far as the metals are concerned, it's quite possible that the bottom is in as well. I've been saying to our members and also in the public domain that I thought that we'd see the bottom in June, and I'm not going to change that yet, but I think we're close enough to a bottom for all practical purposes. My call was we'd see under 28 probably, and also consistently, especially for the membership where I actually go through the charts and circle and use arrows and all that kind of stuff, said, look, silver has gone into the $26 level two times, both times extremely briefly, what I refer to as a spike low. It comes right back up. There's only a few trades that are in that very area, and then it pops up and continues on up and starts building a base at a higher price. That's happened twice. We saw it again a couple days ago. Silver actually hit about the 26.75 level. Basis Kitco is the market maker, so their price is very slightly from the COMEX post was like 26.68, and it came right back up. So I am pretty sure that we're either at the bottom or very close to it, probably within a month or so.
Are you getting ready to put some money back into the market, whether it be the metals themselves or the stocks? And if so, are you making your subscribers aware of your intention and perhaps advising them that this would be a good time to consider doing the same thing?
Well, I'll probably do an update for the members only. Also, I had an order in, and I bought some constitutional silver around the $27 mark. In fact, it was just around 27. And then I also bought a bar in the aftermarket, I think yesterday or day before, and that was at 27.72. I just happen to remember that price. And I'm going to have those minted into 1/10 ounce rounds with the Morgan dollar logo on one side showing the morganreport.com, and also on the other side I'll have silver-investor.com on there. So it'll be stuff I'll be giving out to paid members at these trade shows that I attend all the time.
Oh, so they're freebies.
Well, they're not free. They are and they're not. They are pretty much free. You've already paid me, so someone that's a paid subscriber, not someone that just is on our free email list, but someone's actually helping support my daughter through college and everything else I have to do. As a token of appreciation, I'm going to be probably giving those out to paid people, and then probably be able to sell them at some reasonable rate. They're actually fairly expensive because the minting process, whether you're minting a 1 ounce coin or a 1/10 ounce coin, it's basically the same amount of energy, same amount of press weight, etc., that goes into the process. So the minting costs are like 50 cents a coin. Well, 50 cents on a 1 ounce coin is a lot less percentage-wise than 50 cents on a 10th ounce coin. So the premiums on these smaller coins across the board, and this is, if you think about what I just said, obviously the premium's a little higher or noticeably higher on the smaller denominations. Nonetheless, it's a good, $4 item when silver's at 40 and $3 item when silver's at 30. Melt value, and of course the actual cost would be like $3.60 at $30 silver because of the minting price. But regardless, yeah, I'm real happy to have them.
We had a rough almost 6 months in 2012 up until now. Are you bullish about the rest of the year?
I am. Normally the metals bottom in the summer months, normally August. I think, again, it could be, May or June. I'm kind of still biased toward June based on the work that I do, but regardless, this is close enough to the final bottom as far as I'm concerned. And the fundamentals for the metals have never been better. I mean, there's so many things going on in the global financial system and the global political environment that it just begs people to take a hard look at the metals. Problem with investing in general, and particularly in the metals, in my opinion, is that it's such an emotional thing. People want to be right. They want to be certain. They don't want to take the risk. And it's a herd mentality. People are much more comfortable buying when prices are going up, up, and up than they are to stop stomach it and say, geez, this is close enough to a low, I think I'll start buying in here. I wouldn't recommend anyone to put everything they've got into the metal or want to put into the metals. In other words, 20% of your portfolio is sitting on the sidelines, you're waiting for the time to buy. I wouldn't put it all in here, although I would certainly start here, and I'd wait a month or so and buy the rest, and maybe a month after that. So divide it into halves or thirds or fourths and buy in over the next few months. And I think if you do that, an investor, anyone looking for 2 to 3 years out, is going to be extremely happy with either the shares or the bullion or both, because, again, the fundamental facts are so extremely bullish for the precious metals that I can't see them do anything but longer term go higher.
Some of the stocks that have fallen back in my portfolio in the last few months have dropped back as much as 50%, and today they've seen gains as high in one day from 15 to 30%. Should we be considering buying into stocks we already own that have been depressed, as well as looking for new opportunities?
Well, I've been saying for months that their stocks are undervalued and they could become more undervalued, and to buy in and plan to buy in, through the summer. So I want to be consistent with everybody that's, a paid member. Having said that, one of the ones that's more speculative in the portfolio is actually here in town. I've known them for a long time. Been in the stock once, made about 800% on it, got back in it. It's underwater from where we recommended it again, but nonetheless, that stock was up like 25% yesterday. I really think, again, that this is the time to not be fearful. It's the time to be pretty aggressive and get into these. What do you buy? That's an individual choice again. I mean, the Morgan Report focuses on money, metals, and mining. We certainly advocate everyone starting their metals portfolio physical metal first. But once that's done, then you can diversify into the mining companies. And we stress, really, depending on the person, but primarily getting the top-tier cash-rich unhedged mining companies as the top tier, and then the mid-tier growth companies, and then just bet a little to win a lot in the speculative side of the portfolio. So basically I have three outlines: a top-tier portfolio, a mid-tier portfolio, and a speculative portfolio.
For our new listeners, David, how does one follow you?
There's lots of ways these days, as you know, with all the social media. I don't do them all, but I have a Twitter account. The Twitter account is SilverGuru22. I'm not prone to tell you I'm having a latte at Starbucks. Why would I waste your time telling you that? I do link articles that I read daily, or one of my top staff members does. And these are articles that I've read and vetted that I think are important to stay attuned to the precious metals and the overall global economy. So Twitter is SilverGuru22. I also have a YouTube channel. A lot of time, effort, and money as far as the camera action that goes into it. Some are actually professionally done. Most aren't. Most are just YouTube quality, but they're all pertinent to keeping everyone abreast. And that channel on YouTube is Silver Guru. And then lastly, the website itself is themorganreport.com, all one word, themorganreport.com. You go there and you can get on our free e-letter, which is weekly on the weekend, or if you are serious about these markets, you can look at 3 different levels of paid services. That's in the members-only side of the website, and there are 3 videos that actually outline exactly what you're going to get. So you got a pretty good idea of what you're going to get if you become a paid member.
You know what? Nowhere in this interview do I sense any negativity. Why do you think that is?
Well, the market's been up for 2 days, so that's one thing. And, when I bought at the bottom, again, if this is the bottom, I feel pretty good. If it's not, I still feel good. I do believe strongly, again, that over the longer term, you're going to look back at buying silver under 30 or gold under 1,600, and I've been consistently saying that for several months now, to buy in there. And a lot of people are very smart in this industry, and few of them have been kind of advocating that, these metals are ready for launch, they're only going to go up and all this. I've stayed my ground as usual and said, I don't see it that way. I think we have more consolidation, a sideways to downtrending market, and that alone, in my book, is worth something. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm better than or know more than or anything else, but I do want to make clear that I don't let much influence me. In other words, my work is my work, and I stick by it, win, lose, or draw, because people that perhaps were listening to some free information from someone else might have got in at, let's say, much higher prices and not had any cash left to take care of the opportunity that exists today.
Well, David, as usual, it's been a fascinating few minutes with you. I thank you for joining me today on the program.
Thank you.
I've been speaking with the Silver Guru, David Morgan. His website is themorganreport.com. Listen to this segment again on the podcast page of our website, ellismartinreport.com.